For centuries, pioneers, travelers, and vacationers have flocked to the Finger Lakes region of New York to revel in its scenic beauty. Since 1948, auto racing fans have too. That's when they first raced round the streets of Watkins, Glen. Today, high on a hillside overlooking the village and Lake Seneca, is a beautiful permanent circuit that today will test NASCAR's Busch Grand National drivers. Hi, everybody. I'm Mike Joy with Buddy Baker, and I really love coming to the challenge of road racing here at Watkins Glen. But I know for some of you left-turn-only specialists, this gets really different.
Well, it's really different because on the major speedways, you know, you run in the corner so very, very hard. And for a lot of people, they don't have the experience to run a road course, and they overdrive when they get here. So the biggest thing is to adapt and get through here with the car in one piece and be ready to go into the left turn only again next week.
But some of the Busch and Winston Cup drivers have made quite a specialty of road racing. And it really is different. It requires a different kind of approach than when you go off into a corner in either a short track or a super speedway.
Well, on super speedway, you set your line around the racetrack, and you have to do that every lap. But on a road course, it's quite different. You have to use a lot of brake getting in the corner. Really get in the corner slow, come out fast. Major speedway is just the opposite. You drive in hard as you can, come off as hard as you can. So concentration is the key element.
Well, there are Winston Cup, Busch, and Busch North Series drivers in this event, and some of the favorites are starting way deep in the field where Glen Jarrett is right now.
Exactly right, Mike, and perhaps the favorite of the race starting way back in 21st position. Terry Labonte, you seem to have owned this place at Busch Grand National Racing. You won the first one here, you finished second, and I think you got the fastest car this weekend.
Well, we did in practice, but we didn't get to qualify, you know, and so that's kind of a little disadvantage starting where we are, but we'll just have to take our time and, you know, try to get up through the pack there and stay out of trouble.
Well, you seem to get around here so well. It seems so effortless for you. What's the key?
I got a good car.
By my counts, the best car in the field. You were like a second faster than anybody.
Well, in that one practice we were, and then, you know, we didn't get to qualify, but our car ran good right off the truck. We really didn't do anything to it, so we didn't get to practice much because of the weather, but I think we're in pretty good shape.
Well, keep your eye on him. He will definitely move to the front. They changed engines in the car this morning. That doesn't seem to be a concern.
Well, Labonte has a lot of experience here, but not every driver here does. And Randy Porter has a map taped to the dash to help get him around Watkins Glen in these first few laps.
Splitfire earned a United States patent. Splitfire doesn't look like any other spark plug. And the patented Splitfire doesn't work like any other spark plug.
5 extra horsepower by merely installing these plugs. Quicker in the quarter mile. A 4.8% gain in mileage.
There's nothing like a Splitfire. You'll get more power and more mileage, or your money back. Get the guaranteed Splitfire advantage at leading automotive stores from coast to coast.
Yeah, you've seen it all. Done it all. Pretty much got it all figured out. But have you got what it takes to be a mountain man? All it takes are the 2 cool beers of the Mountain Man. Smooth Busch beer, easy drinking Busch Light. So, be a mountain man. All you gotta do is head for the mountains.
People ask me to endorse the strangest things. A green recliner? Not much of a sitter. I like going fast. 68 Shelby, and there's only about 300 and some odd made. This car rips. Pure oil now. Keeping them up's half the fun. They all get Pure Later filters. Pure oil later. I snag them from the track. Legends live. Pure Later, Pure Later.
In New Britain, Connecticut, people don't need a Wall Street genius to tell them where to put their money. After all, New Britain's the home of Stanley. And even a modest investment in Stanley tools, painting equipment, doors, and hardware can pay handsome dividends down the road. So before you sink a nickel in municipal bonds or soybean futures, how about a new Stanley garage door?
Today's exclusive coverage of the Fays 150 on TNN is brought to you by Splitfire, the patented performance spark plug. It only costs more till you use it. By Smooth Busch Beer and easy drinking Busch Light. Busch, the official beer of NASCAR. By Purolator. Legends live on Purolator. And by Stanley. Since 1843, Stanley has been helping people do things right.
They're on the downhill front straightaway along pit road as they lead down toward turn number 1. The field sit fired and ready and about to get rolling here. We've had quite a bit of rain throughout the area, though none is forecast for this afternoon. There are some pretty low-hanging clouds. So they set the field like this, as there was no qualifying. The first 30 position for point standings from Busch and Busch North, then a spot for the defending champion, then positions for the drivers who have won races this year and last. Then they used entry blank postmarks to set the rest of the field, but for the past series champions provisional that was taken up by Bobby Labonte. So 39 cars will start. Let's show them to you as the grid's presented by Sears Diehard. The top 30 Busch drivers start in the inside row, led by point leader and two-time winner Ricky Craven in the DuPont Chevrolet. In the outside row are the Busch North point leaders, led by Dale Shaw in a Pontiac. Row number 2 will be David Green, second in the point standings and a winner at Bristol. On the outside of the second row, the all-time Busch North race winner, Kelly Moore. In row number 3 to the inside, Kenny Wallace looks for his first win since March of '92. And alongside will be Hermie Sadler, who won at Rougemont in April. In row number 4, Robert Presley ranks 5th in points. Andy Santerre will be driving for Brian Goey. In row 5, Bobby Dotter, runner-up in New Hampshire. He'll be relieved by Scott Lagasse, standing to his left. Tim Fedowa is outside the 5th row in a Ford. Row number 6, Larry Pearson, the two-time Busch champion, and Chad Little. In row number 7, Tracy Leslie Chevrolet and Randy LaJoy. Row number 8 will be Martin Truex from New Jersey in a Chevy, and Johnny Benson Jr., the ASA champion. In row number 9, Dennis Setzer makes his first start on a road race course, and Jim Bound, who ran 5th at Bristol. In row number 10, Mike McLaughlin has 3 top 10s in his last 5 starts. He's on his home track. And Elton Sawyer, who got his first career Busch win at Myrtle Beach 2 weeks ago. Row number 11, Terry Labonte, winner at Rockingham and Martinsville, and Jason Keller, who has a couple of poles this year. In row 12, Rodney Combs has 3 top 10s, and Mike Wallace, who won at Dover. Row number 13, Randy Porter was 3rd at Atlanta in March. Kevin LePage had a strong run at New Hampshire last month. Row number 14, Stevie Reeves, 5th among the rookies. And Tom Peck, who will turn his car over to Brett Bodine on the first caution. In row number 15, Ken Wallace makes his 4th start of the year, and Dave Rezendes, who finished 5th here 2 years ago. Steve Grissom, the 1993 Busch Series champion, shares row 16 with Butch Leisinger, who won the Busch North race here last month. Phil Parsons won at Charlotte in May, and Joe Nemechek, a winner at Richmond in March. Shauna Robinson makes her 2nd Watkins Glen start, and Johnny Rumley makes his road course debut. Daytona 500 winner Sterling Marlin shares row 19 with Patty Moise, and Bobby Labonte, the 91 Busch Series champ, starts in the final position.
Show it. Have you got a hardcore degree in NASCARology? Prove it. Enter the Purolator Drive with a winner sweepstakes now. Here's David Green, but which one of these cars carries his magic number? Is it number 2? Wait a minute. Or is it number 79? Or number 44? Or number 25? No, which one? Write it down. Here's how to enter. Call this number and match driver David Green with the number of his car. Calls cost 95 cents per minute, average call 2 minutes. Or send a postcard with your name, address, phone number, and David Green's car number to this address. The grand prize is a 1994 Corvette with a trunk full of Purolator air and oil filters to be given away September 1st at the grand opening of the Corvette Museum in Bowling Green, Kentucky. It's the Purolator Drive with a winner sweepstakes. Enter now.
At Pep Boys, you know the name brand quality of our oil filters. At other places, you don't. Once again, Oh, and you won't pay more for our quality from $1.88. At Pep Boys, if we don't have it, you don't want it. Just look at the selection of car care products at Pep Boys. Now look at other places. Once more. Wow. Ooh. Oh, and when you look for every one of these at just 99 cents. At Pep Boys, if we don't have it, you don't want it.
Upper back pain, lower back pain, neck pain. There are all kinds of back pain.
Extra Strength Tones relieves them all with an ingredient these brands don't have. Relieve back pain with Tones, the back specialist.
I don't need some fancy cologne to tell me I'm a man. I use Skin Bracer. It smells great, but it also cools and tones my skin. Confidence is very sexy, don't you think?
Skin Bracer Aftershave.
By Menon.
Keep an eye out for that Pure Later Drive with the Winners game. They're going to give away that Corvette at the grand opening of the Corvette Museum in Bowling Green, Kentucky on September 1st. Up through the S's. And a very interesting lineup as it was decided by points. Here's a look at Watkins Glen race course. You see at the bottom of your screen start-finish as they work their way downhill toward turn number 1 and further downhill to 2 and then start climbing the S's where you see the cars right now, right in the middle of the S's. And they go down that long back straightaway, full acceleration out of turn 2, up the hill and down the back straightaway to the newly added inner loop, a chicane sort of affair. At the end of the straightaway just before turn 5. Then they shoot straight across the cutoff on this, the short course, to turns 10 and 11 and back to the start-finish line. 2.5 miles, 7 turns. This is the inner loop. And a couple of road racing specialists are on hand. One will relieve that yellow car right there, Bobby Dodders, and he's with Glen Jarrett.
Well, Mike, we saw Bobby Dodders' terrible crash at Dover. He's still suffering from some shoulder injuries there. Scott Lagasse will get in the car. Scott is a renowned road racing expert, wants to be an oval track driver too, but running 3 divisions here this weekend, you got to be most excited about this one, though.
Oh yeah, it's a great weekend. We got a lot going on, but obviously getting in the Busch car for Bobby and helping DeWalt and everybody out is a big highlight, and we're gonna do a good job, hopefully, and just try to get them some points.
You got a fast car too, Scott.
Yeah, it seems to be real fast. We were real good in the last practice, and I think, you know, even though we got to go to the back, I'd say if we get a caution in there, we ought to be in the hunt.
I think he'll be in the hunt too. This guy can really get around this place, Mike.
He's a former SCCA Sport Renault champion and has run some Trans Am and IMSA and is very familiar with this race course, and he's driven the big cars on occasion as well. Light is out on the Ford Mustang convertible safety car. And there you see up at the front of the field Dale Shaw in that Skoll number 7 from the Busch North Series, and Ricky Craven in the DuPont Chevrolet, who is the Busch North point leader. And it'll be very interesting to watch folks like Terry Labonte and Patty Moise, who are road race specialists, come up through the field. This is turn 11 as the pace car is in. We are getting set to go racing here at Watkins Glen. 62 laps, 150 miles, and the Fays 150 is underway, and Ricky Craven has quite a jump down the front straightaway.
Well, that was a heads-up start he got there. He's down in the corner. It's very important to be single file or try to get single file going through number 1 there.
Down the hill, you still come downhill to turn number 2. Craven with David Green in second spot. Then they begin the long climb, and even though these are S's and corners, it's full acceleration up through here and to the back straightaway.
Mike, it's probably the most dangerous part of the racetrack, climbing that hill there. It's almost blind as you top that hill and start towards the straightaway turn there. So that's where most of the real bad accidents are on the road course here.
Black car on the left side of your screen, Kenny Wallace making a move up into 3rd place. The TIC Ford, Kelly Moore, number 47, is 4th. He's about to lose that spot. No, Robert Presley. The 99 hangs in 5th. Hermie Sadler is 6th. Out of turn 5. And you see the cutoff where they go down to the boot section of the course, the expanded road course here. And back, and here we are at turn 10. 90-degree left-hander. And they'll come out of turn 11 to the first lap Ricky Craven has ever led on a road race course.
Well, I tell you, he's doing a great job. But Robert Presley, we just had a picture of him just a second ago. He is so funny talking about the road course that I cannot believe last night at dinner he was just like sitting and listening to a good comedian talk about the racetrack. See Kenny Wallace going under green there into the corner of turn 1. There is Kenny Wallace just ahead of David Green into second spot, and we'll try to march you up through the field with some of the fellows like former winner here, Terry Labonte. Here's Bobby Dodder in, and this will be one of the 2 most noted changes. Window net is down as Scott Lagasse. There at the top of your screen, you saw Tom Peck come in, and Brett Bodine will take over for Peck. Mike, he's had a little bit of damage there on the left rear quarter, and they decided to come in and probably work on the car and make the driver change early there, because Dodder certainly does not feel like getting wrapped in the tail end like that many times. Now here's Terry Labonte in the MW Windows Chevy. He's right behind Martin Truex in number 56. Labonte came down the front straightaway last lap 3 wide, going past Mike McLaughlin. And another car looking for advantage on the Blunt Seafood Chevy. Nothing there. He's up to 15th place. Won this race in 1991. One of NASCAR Winston Cup Racing's best road race specialists. So here, look, you've really got to pick and choose your places to pass here. You just can't go after them where you catch them.
Well, on a road course, you have 2 or 3 things to worry about. One thing is not to unload the car going in the corner and get the tail end very light getting into the corner. You have to use the brakes very hard anyhow, but if you really extend the use of the brake, it gets the front end sliding and you go right off the course.
Labonte takes Truex on this, the second longest straightaway here, and he pulls up on Johnny Benson, the ASA champion, celebrating his 31st birthday on Monday. And he's looking over Tim Fedua. Fedua now carrying the Luxair colors on his Ford, number 55. Bobby Dotter lost 38 seconds switching over to Scott Lagasse. That'll keep them on the lead lap. And also Brett Bodine in for Tom Peck.
We have something in common. I remember my 31st birthday.
And he's going to have his Monday. Into the chicane, or the inner loop as they call it here at the Glen. Labonte being methodical and picking them off one at a time. Into turn 5. Right on the back bumper of Johnny Benson. This is a good long straightaway, good passing opportunity here. As they come off this long corner and Labonte dips to the inside. Nope, Benson's going that way, so Labonte cuts across the track and he'll take him going into turn 10.
Well, he's on the inside. He'll go make this pass real easy now and gets back on the other side of the course to make his turn into turn 11 here.
Let's go back up front for the moment, where Kenny Wallace has caught Ricky Craven. These are 2 of the drivers battling for the Busch Championship. David Green second in points. Kenny Wallace third. Craven is the leader.
You know, Mike, I'm sitting up here talking about this course like I was the greatest road course driver ever lived, but we do have a guy up here with us that's very talented on this racetrack. Maybe he'll tell me how to get around.
So here's Craven. Back into the chicane once again. And Wallace bounced his car across the curbing there, upsetting it just a bit. And you see Craven open up about a car length right there.
Boy, wouldn't it be nice if every driver had a brother that was as talented as Rusty Wallace, and you could go in and get notes from him when you start to go to a road course? There's a tremendous advantage for Wallace to be able to go in there and talk to his brother Rusty and say, listen, this is what I need, and he gives him a whole sheet of things to work on.
Agreed. You saw Scott Lagasse there in relief of Bobby Dotter for a moment. And also Brett Bodine is in the car that he would have started in this race. But Tom Peck, who was in the top 30 in points, started that car. That's the only way they could get it into the show based on point standing. Now here is Wallace looking for the lead. He's got the line. He's got the lead.
Boy, he made that look very easy. Kenny Wallace is flying around this racetrack. He's also a very good broadcaster, but this kid right here, he's got all the tools, and you watch, when he moves up the Winston Cup the next time, he'll stay there.
Kenny thought he had a good chance to qualify on the pole. So Craven running right in Wallace's tire tracks. A bit of smoke there as they come up toward the inner loop. And again, Kenny, he likes to bounce that left front off that curb there, and you see how upset the car gets when he does it.
You see Hermie Sadler coming through there. He always runs very well. He says he really likes the road course. It reminds him of going to school. I just wonder what kind of school he went to that he went to as fast as they go right here. No comment, huh?
I wonder. Must have been one that was a few miles from home.
I'd say.
If he got in that kind of practice. He's moving up on Kelly Moore, who's the leading all-time winner in the Busch North Series now. Here's Sadler, looks to the outside. Moore doesn't leave many room there. And they're back to start-finish, where Sadler has this long straightaway to work with. Boy, Kelly Moore has got some horsepower. Hermie to the inside. Yeah, not this time.
Well, that was a smart move on Hermie Sadler's part. Don't run in there this early in the race and maybe get all crossways and maybe knock another guy out. He's got patience, and he has a race car that's capable of running up front.
This is trouble here for Andy Santerre. This is Brian Goey's Chevy, the Primetime Vans car, and he's going to pull it off. Goey finished 4th here in his first ever Busch North race start last month. He finished in the top 4. And Andy Santerre again had the points to get into the show. Goey did not, so Santerre started the car. It looks like it'll be a short day. So Kenny Wallace leads Ricky Craven, and Kenny Wallace seems to really like running these road courses. But as Buddy pointed out, it seems that Kenny had a pretty good teacher in his older brother.
Well, you know, I guess it was a deal where when I came into this NASCAR, you know, Busch Grand National Series, my brother Rusty was so dominant in the bias tire days and without the Jericho transmissions. And, you know, when I came up here, he told me everything I needed to do step by step, and I ran really well. So it's became a passion of mine just to, you know, it's a break from making left-hand corners constantly, and it's beautiful up here in Watkins Glen.
From Little Caesars, 2 pizzas for $8.98, plus a free 8-piece order of Crazy Bread and a free 32-ounce Coke Classic. It's enough food to make a family meal into a party.
Wherever you are this summer could be a very cool place with Miller's 10 grand a day giveaway. We've got a lot to unload. That's $10,000 a day every day. Look for numbers inside specially marked cases of Miller beer. Match and win daily in USA Today and Sports Illustrated. A lot of cash, a lot of winners. Can your beer do this?
There's one thing that a racing engine and a street engine have in common. You want them both to last.
Haviland Formula 3 from Texaco.
To build a race engine that holds up, you have to use the best of everything. And Haviland does that job.
No other leading motor oil offers more complete protection to help your car run better, last longer. Good enough for Robert Yates.
Well, how hard do you want me to push it today? Whatever it takes to win.
Haviland Formula 3. Why add just any motor oil? Add more life to your car.
Athlete's foot is a predator. To cure it all, you've got to kill it all. Introducing Lotramin AF spray and powder. Full prescription strength medicine that kills all causes of athlete's foot. New forms, same killer results. Lotramin AF, the killer cure.
Napa, we're the most complete source for auto parts, and all Napa parts are backed by a nationwide warranty program. No wonder more Americans trust Napa to keep their vehicles running.
Keep America running.
Fays 150 on TNN is brought to you by Napa. We keep America running.
We're under caution here at Watkins Glen, New York. The car that Andy Santerre pulled off the course apparently did not get fully out of harm's way, so they have brought the caution out here for the first time this afternoon. There's the primetime van Chevrolet that Santerre started because rookie Brian Goey did not have enough points to get into the show. But again, interesting story. Took this car here, went to Bob Bondurant's school. Goey did. Finished 4th here last month. He'd never raced at Watkins Glen. It was the first Busch North race he qualified for. Finished in the top 4.
Well, I tell you, you know, it's a terrible thing to have happen this early in a race for any race team. But, you know, anytime anybody has problems on a racetrack, it always benefits people. And the people that made driver changes just a little while ago are back up into the action again because they get to come up behind the pace car.
Okay, he couldn't make it all the way around to start-finish, so they'll push that car back home. And word is that the Bobby Dotter car, now with Scott Lagasse aboard, is going to pit. Another driver who's out of the race has joined us up here in the booth. But Tom Peck, you plan to be out of the race by right now, so it's not unexpected to have you with us.
Yeah, our plan was if everything went according to plan, I was only going to run 1 lap and start the car and get Brett in the race, and it worked pretty well. I was worried he's going to get lapped, but he's in good shape now.
Now, with the car that is owned by Mike and Harry Grieche out of Connecticut, that Mike McLaughlin ran last year, and Brett Bodine on most of the series. Brett was supposed to start this car and run it, but he didn't have enough points to get into the show, so that's why you had to climb aboard.
Yeah, it's kind of a close-knit family, and we help each other out when we can, and this was one time when they needed me, but the next time I might need them.
Sure.
So.
Well, I just want to say congratulations on the way you drove in Myrtle Beach. You did a great job in the car there, and you were up in second place there when you had to get out the running, but you did a great job in the car, and we hope to see you back on the regular tour fast.
Well, you know, I'm getting impatient now. For a while it was okay. I'm looking pretty hard right now. I need to get back into a race car.
Well, it's good to have you up here with us.
You've run here before. This would be your fourth start, and of course you'll get credited with wherever Brett finishes, but you have one top 10 finish in 3 previous starts. What do you think of this place?
You know, it's a place where we can come where there's not a lot of pressure on us. We can come, and it's like kind of going to a go-kart track to have fun. This is a fun type racetrack for us. It's different than anything we ever do. You just go out and have a good time all day long.
Let's go down to the pits. Here's Glen.
Well, Scott Lagacy has brought the DeWalt Tools car in to top it off with fuel. He was at the rear end of the pack anyway, so he didn't lose any track position. Here's Bobby Dotter, the normal driver and the car owner, and man, you couldn't have scripted that thing any better.
Now we got real lucky to catch that caution. Driver change didn't take nearly, took a lot longer than what we'd expected. We never expected to come out right in front of the leader, so Scott's doing a great job. I think he can bring the DeWalt car home in first place if he gets the right brakes in traffic, but I just told him, most importantly, just bring it home in one piece and we'll be happy.
And I'll guarantee you Scott Lagacy will do that.
Okay, thanks, Glenn. We are under caution, the first one of the day, as they push Andy Santerre's car back to the pits. We've completed 8 laps. Terry Labonte's now up in the top 10, and Joe Nemechek, who started 34th, is now running 11th. We're under caution, and we'll be right back to Watkins Glen, New York. Here's how they look after 8 of 62 laps.
Where there's smoke, there's fire.
And we've got problems in turn 3.
ASA Racing. Speed is our middle name. The Pontiac Excitement 300, live from Brainerd. TNN Motorsports Sunday.
Paragon Cable presents a Choice Access Spotlight.
Watch it, watch it, watch it.
Hit movies from the 60s, 70s, and 80s.
But that's wonderful.
Uncut and commercial free.
We bought odds almost as great before.
Flicks for a buck.
They say it's a serious offer. Sale of the century.
Paragon Cable.
How soon can we get in touch with them?
I'll make it easy for you. Paragon Cable. Flicks for a buck.
It's impossible, of course. For anybody but us.
Now there's mulching worthy of the finest lawn.
I keep my lawn immaculate.
Snapper's Ninja Mulching Mower. It set new mulching standards the others are still trying to match. Ninja's double-cutting blade cuts and recuts clippings so fine they seem to disappear.
Looks like I bagged the grass, right? But I didn't.
And Ninja easily converts to bagging. You can mulch this weekend, bag the next. The choice is yours with Snapper.
It is pretty impressive.
They've just waved the green flag here at Watkins Glen, New York, as they come up from turn 2 up through the S's and to that long back straightaway. Kenny Wallace out in front. He held off a strong challenge from Ricky Craven down there in turn 1.
Yeah, Ricky moved right up on the inside there, and we have that's Tracy Leslie right there on the inside trying to make a move on green. He makes the move going through the chicane there. Boy, I'm glad to see this chicane. That really breaks that fast back straightaway down before you get in this very, very dangerous corner here and makes this racetrack, as Terry Labonte says, fun to drive now instead of being afraid going down the back straightaway.
So here they come down the chute to turn 10 from turn 5. Eliminating the boot portion of the course that the GT cars run. Oh, David Green gets a couple off there.
That's using all the road course and all the sidewalls and everything else going around this racetrack. Those little ripple strips there would upset the lighter weight cars, but the Busch Grand National cars, you can throw them in there and ride right across them, no problem.
Well, now they've got them down in turn 1, 2 on the outside of the track and at different places around this course. Not just ripple strip. There you see the white strip of them. They're drivers call them cow pies. Because you get out there and you really go bouncing around. Well, that's what they shaped like. But
Anyway, as we get back, you see Joe Nemechek just in front of Terry Labonte there, getting ready for the back straightaway. That's Hermie Sadler there, going up under Green's car, trying to get in track position to get under him, getting in the chicane. He does that quite easily.
Good pass by Sadler. Tracy Leslie started 13th. He's up to 3rd. Great run for Tracy, who spent some time at road racing school these past couple of weeks. Nemechek in 87. Presley in 99. Presley be the first guy to tell you he's not a road racer. He's not thrilled about this. It's not his favorite kind of racing, but he comes here and is happy to drive the car on the trailer at the end of the day.
Well, at the end of the year, he's moving into Harry Gant's car, and he's going to have to run road courses, so this is a good training ground for him. All these guys, they plan to move up in the Winston Cup someday and further their racing ventures. They have to learn to run these road courses. They're important.
Out of turn 11, back to start finish. Terry Labonte keeps moving up. He's on Kelly Moore. He's on Robert Presley right now. And Randy LaJoie is moving up.
Now, Randy LaJoie told me yesterday he absolutely loves road racing.
Ricky Craven back in front. Takes the lead back from Kenny Wallace and Tracy Leslie closing in.
Tom, are you a little bit homesick watching these guys go around there?
Sorry, we'll get Tom back on here in a second, as Craven now has a 3-car breakaway draft as they work down toward the inner loop once again. Let's show you the pass once again as Craven took the lead. Prime passing spot at this racetrack, down into turn 1 and take away the inside line.
Well, that's what he did. He just took the line away where he couldn't turn where he was supposed to, and it made it very difficult getting in that corner because he had to go wide. But the way the car of Kenny Wallace's is running, he's probably just going to bide his time a little bit, maybe cool his brakes back down, make another run. Tracy Leslie there in 3rd, though, is making a strong run towards the front.
Yeah, I'm impressed and surprised. Leslie is not known as a road racer. Like I said, he went to school this past week to kind of hone his skills. He and Robert Presley both went. I say this week, it was earlier this month. And he's right up there in 3rd spot. And Nemechek is on pit road. That's a surprise. He was battling with Terry Labonte for a spot in the top 10. Now there's Labonte pulling up on David Green. 91 winner here.
You know, they call Labonte the Iceman. You see why. He just methodically moves his way through the field. He picks off a car there, but he never gets himself in a spot where you say, hey, he looks like he might get in trouble, because he never gets that race car in trouble.
Very smooth. Randy Porter with Kenny Wallace moving past. Ooh, now there's a tough place to pass. Joe Nemechek. Transmission or shifter problem for Nemechek. Well, did they jam it in one gear? We'll see.
Mike,
he'll go back out.
Mike, to really relate to that, I'm not sure which I'd rather do without here, transmission or brakes. If I had my choice, I'd just as soon have a good transmission as I had brakes, because they work together, getting you up into the corners.
Terry Labonte has passed David Green. As he continues running toward the front. Now here's Randy LaJoie looking for space, and a big wave from Randy Porter.
Not a bad thing to do when you look in the mirror and see Randy LaJoie coming.
Right. Labonte going through David Green. Let's pick up Butch Leitzinger, the fellow who won the Busch North race here several weeks ago. There's his Ford. His dad, Bob Leitzinger, runs the Nissan GTU team in IMSA. Butch has done well in that series, and they were looking for some new challenges, and he is now in 12th place. Let's get an update on Joe Nemechek from Glen.
Well, Mike, I came up to his pits when I saw him come in. The car was hung in gear. They have gotten it out now, and it is okay. I'm talking to Vic Kangas. He tells me that everything is A-okay now. He did not lose a lap, so maybe he can catch it on the caution to catch back up.
Thanks, Glenn.
See Sterling Marling at the end of this little line here. He's got a very good race car, but he started very far back in the pack, so he's being very careful coming up through there, but he has a fast race car.
Once again, the starting positions were determined largely by point standings. There was no qualifying for this race. Here's Leitzinger to the inside of Chad Little. Butch out of State College, Pennsylvania, second-generation driver. And And they've been very, very pleased with what they've been able to do in NASCAR road racing here in a short time.
Sterling went under there and had a little bit of front end push through the middle part of that corner, and he had to back out of the throttle or run into the car of 91, the Flatzinger. So this is a give and take at this part of the racetrack. But if you notice when they start in the corners, every car here looks like they're under control to a great degree going in the corner, but they fishtail a little coming out. So you use a lot of accelerator getting out of the corner.
Martin Truex on pit road for the second time in the Blunt Seafood car. Randy Porter has taken the Cincinnati Millicron machine to the garage, and Truex follows. Chad Little coming up the hill. You know, this is fun to watch because these fellas pass in places that your traditional road racers wouldn't dream of. You know, it's like there are no passing zones on this course.
Well, maybe next year they won't, but right now they're all experimenting. They're getting a little road race experience, and they're doing a great job. You see Robert Presley there. He's not giving up a lot of ground to the leaders. He's driving very hard.
Presley, like I said, it's just so much fun to watch him here. He walked past, and I made a motion like gear shifting, and he made a motion like he was holding the wheel, twisting it left, right, left again, and then up, arms over his shoulders. But he's having a great time. So it's taken a lot of adaptation for Robert Presley to run well on road courses, and well, I guess you'd say he quite hasn't had the best of luck on them.
No, not really. Last couple years, you know, I've got a pretty good record. I hadn't passed the car yet, and I've been in the dirt all day. But I tell you what, we got a new team here this year, you know, and it's a little bit different type of race car. You know, it's a Laughlin race car, and it drives twice as good as the cars I've used to having. So, you know, I believe I can stay out of the dirt anyway.
You got the winning color. Make your engine last longer. Change your oil every 3,000 miles and use the newest Pennzoil.
Pennzoil has always stood by me.
Now with the revolutionary Pennstar molecule, Pennzoil clings to moving parts, works like liquid ball bearings. And play Pennzoil's new scratch and win game. Over 4,000 prizes, including 10 trips for 2 to NASCAR's Brickyard 400 race in 1994 or 95. Pennzoil, the official motor oil for the inaugural running of the Brickyard 400.
Monroe Sensatrack, road sensing shocks and struts. Designed to give you extra control during a swerve. Extra control over rough roads. Monroe Sensatrack gives you both extra control and ride comfort automatically. Monroe Sensatrack, like 2 shocks in 1. Call 1-800-STRUT now for a Monroe Sensatrack dealer near you.
The King of Burgers celebrates The Lion King, now in theaters, with Lion King-size values, like our $1.99 hamburger kids meal, with a Lion King toy featuring Disney's newest stars, and our Whopper value meal for just $2.99. Bring your family to Burger King, where value is king every day.
At Stanley, we test the quality of our sliding mirror doors by opening and closing them over 100,000 times. This doesn't make for great entertainment, but it does make a great closet door. The Accent Mirror Door from Stanley.
Do you believe in reincarnation? Armor All Tire Foam. It cleans. It shines. It makes tires look like new. Now you can believe.
Well, I think I'd rather be soaring right here on 4 wheels. And the fellow who is soaring is Terry Labonte. Oops,
Hermie Sadler out.
Lock the brakes up and go out on the cow patties.
That's much better than trying to make that corner with the wheels locked up. He drove that car straight until he got it under control, and then he come around.
Working on David Green as they climb the hill. Had one car off course at turn 1.
Okay, this is Hermie.
Oh, no, this is Hermie.
Yeah, they've got the car pretty well. As you see, the back wheels locked up there. That's one of the worst things you can have happen on a road course is when those rear wheels break loose.
Patty Moise avoided the cow patties altogether. Now, there's an experienced road racer.
Who says women can't drive dirt tracks? I just seen her do it and did a super job of getting the car back straight.
and not lose the car and go off in the tire wall. That's tough to do. Here's Kenny Wallace for the lead. Whoa!
Now, that's the way I used to look for the whole 3 hours that this race would take. I was pretty much in that situation all the way around.
Boy, he drove it in hard and locked up the nose. Just barely avoided contact. Napa, we keep America running. Here's how they're running right now. And it's Terry Labonte now against Kenny Wallace. So smooth.
Oh, indeed, very smooth. That's one thing about Terry Labonte. He made that nice move in there, but he would have backed out of it and let Kenny make that preferred line rather than dive in there and maybe cause a problem. You see Tracy Leslie there moving in on Kenny Wallace now if they start down the back straightaway.
Labonte started 21st. Here he comes for the lead.
And has it. I'm telling you, this car is absolutely a land rocket right now.
Craven in second. Wallace in third. Tracy Leslie right there in fourth.
Well, these guys can get some great experience right now if they'll latch on the back of Terry Labonte, because he's as good as ever driven around this racetrack, and he does it with such ease. It's kind of like the first time I went to Riverside and tried to follow Dan Gurney around.
Yes.
I watched him for a couple of corners, and then I watched him from the dirt and the hills and the weeds, and then back up on the dirt again. I said, my goodness, how does he do that so easy? But he had that knack, and so does Terry Labonte.
Glenn?
Buddy, that would be an experience if they could ride that fast. Labonte told me before the race, you heard him, he said, I got a good car. That was a gross understatement. You're right, he is a rocket ship right now. There's nobody out here can run with him unless something happens to that car.
Tom Peck, did you find this a tough track to learn?
Yeah, you know, I spent an awful lot of time out in the grass. You know, you came from the dirt track, so I drove this track on the grass more than I did the asphalt the first year I got here.
And I'll confess, first time we ran here, I had a map on the dashboard just to find a way around.
I went back to
tough place.
I went back to the motel at night, and I studied a map and marked down on the map where I was supposed to shift gears and what gear to be in. You know, just kind of studied a little bit.
Interesting course, and as you've seen it, we found some interesting lines around it.
See, Randy LaJoie fixing to move in here towards the lead cars here.
And here we are, riding along with Brett Bodine. You see the thing judder there? That's what those cow pies do to you as you're right there. Now this is turn 2.
Let's rename that. I don't like that sound.
That's what we call them. Up through the S's, a blind entry here. Into turn 3, across the tunnel to get into the infield, and turn 4, and then this is all carry here. All straightaway, high gear.
Boy, you see the transmissions, they've improved them so much from the first time I ever run on a road course. We just missed this little chicane there and made a straightaway out of that corner there. That looked like he might have some kind of problem because the car never did slow down very much.
Well, I don't know. There was a turn there. there is a designated penalty for skipping the inner loop. Terry Labonte back at the front, and you said now if they can just run with him, good luck. There's Kenny Wallace and Ricky Craven in second and third, and now fourth and fifth, Tracy Leslie and Randy LaJoie. The Fina Chevy right together. And trouble on Johnny Benson's car. Not a happy birthday for him, Glenn.
No, Mike, it's not. The car came in. It was not running. The crew has told me that there is a rear end problem with the car. So as close up as he is in the point standings, I imagine if the rear end is burnt out, they're going to try to change it. But he's going to be here for quite a while. Happy birthday anyway, Johnny.
There might be a rear end problem, but they're working very hard right around where the transmission linkage is hanging down there. You see the guy up near the left front fender there. He's definitely working on transmission there.
Benson is 12th in the point standings and is the leading rookie by just 1 point over Dennis Setzer. Here's your leader, Terry Labonte, and you can see he's opened up a bit of a margin on Kenny Wallace and the rest of this field here at Watkins, Glen, New York. We'll be right back.
The time has finally come for the cordless power roller from Wagner. Now you control the flow of paint. So the Wagner Power Roller can cut jobs in half. Smoothly and evenly, it can cover areas twice as fast. And cleanup is a snap. So you can finish one job and do another. Get your hands on a real value, because the value of Wagner keeps on rolling.
Racing legend Richard Petty gave us an incredible challenge to try and start his toys.
All my toys.
All at once with a single diehard. So we hooked up all 9 engines, and the diehard started every one.
All at the same time.
But would it still have the power to start this big toy? Here's diehard. More power when you need it most.
Steve Thomas is thinking about the perfect cheese for Wendy's new chicken sandwich.
So I'm thinking mozzarella. Really? My first choice would be Munster.
It had to have just the right flavor.
How about Camembert? Over mozzarella? No way. Dave, think Gouda.
And it had to be delicious. Introducing Wendy's Mozzarella Chicken Supreme. A whole breast filet cooked golden brown. Mozzarella and a creamy Parmesan sauce.
Still think Gouda?
Not anymore. People ask me to endorse the strangest things. A green recliner? Not much of a sitter. I like going fast. 68 Shelby. And there's only about 300 and some odd made. This car rips. Pure oil now. Keeping them up's half the fun. They all get Pure Later filters. Pure oil later. I snag them from the track.
Legends live. Pure Later, Pure Later.
I was running late the other day when the car started acting up. You know, a little light came on, it says check engine. You know, the one that always means a trip to the dealer, right? Well, I go to AutoZone. I tell the guy about it. He says, let's take a look. So we go outside, pop the hood, and he starts running some tests right there. Turns out it was just something little, but he saved me a lot. You know, if they can test this stuff for free at AutoZone, why would you go anyplace else?
Ricky Craven comes onto pit road. He had dropped back a bit. Stevie Reeves makes a pit stop and goes back out. Randy Porter is back in the race, and the pit board is out for Terry Labonte as well. So here's Craven's crew going to work. John Munson. And Glenn is there.
Well, Mike, they're going to the left side of the car. We speculated there might be engine problems. I'm a little bit out of breath if you hear me breathing hard. But as soon as John Munson gets back over here, I'll find out exactly what the problem is. But they're working underneath it. Looks like they are working. He may have been stuck in gear. I'll get a word in just a moment and clarify it.
Took him 24 seconds to make the repair on Craven.
Yeah, you could see him working there. They had to unstick the gear levers there, and once they did that, he went right out in low gear. So that's what he done. He had it jammed in between gears there.
Kenny Wallace and Tracy Leslie there, nose to tail. Craven having dropped out of that battle. They're running behind Terry Labonte, and let's go back to Glenn. Glenn?
Here's John Munson, the crew chief for Ricky Craven. And John, what was the problem with the car?
The car got locked in 2 gears. We just had to loosen the turn the linkage a little bit. It's all right now. We'll just see if we can get a caution at the right time and get back to the front.
Car looks awfully strong other than that.
Ricky's doing a heck of a job. I didn't know he was such a good road racer. He's really impressing me.
He's impressing a lot of people today.
Well, he's got a long way to come now, Glenn, without a caution flag. Terry Labonte is by himself. Here's the battle behind him, Tracy Leslie and Kenny Wallace.
Well, Tracy Leslie got right by Kenny Wallace with very little problems whatsoever. He's the second fastest car. And that's why we're staying with this battle, because the lead car is in another area code for these guys.
I think you're right. All right. Now there's Randy LaJoy, and coming up, too, is Sterling Marlin behind LaJoy. Now, this is the 4th place car. And now you're riding with him. This is turn 5. This is the longest corner on this course. You feel like you're in this turn, well, about all day. It drops off downhill and then heads into that straightaway leading to turn 10.
You see him going up through the gears here. We're going down the back straightaway. Now you'll see him come up on the chicane here in just a second. He'll start shifting down. Now we're going up the hill. That's turn 10. I had to find out where I was at, folks. Anytime it gets over 2 corners, I'm in trouble.
I'm going to put a map on your dashboard. Turn 11. Back to start finish and the pit straightaway. Good battle there. Well,
I just noticed Randy LaJoy is bypassing third gear, so he must be having a transmission problem in his car. You know, he made a run towards the lead cars, and then he's dropping off just a little bit. I just noticed he went from second all the way over to fourth.
Okay. Kelly Moore from the Busch North Series. The number 47, trying to hold off Tim Fedowa, who has picked up the Luxair sponsorship for at least this race at Watkins Glen. And this is for 12th place. And I believe Kelly Moore is the leading Busch North driver in the race right now.
He's a tremendous driver, and he really likes the road courses. I think any time you win on a racetrack, you have to like it. A lot of people said, you know, what's it take to win at Daytona? I said, you have to like it. You have to love to go there. You have to love a road course. I wished I could feel that way. Road courses, I never carried home a lot of money from these places. I did run second here at one time.
Did you?
As a matter of fact. I don't think there's but 4 or 5 of us left on the racetrack, but I did get second once. Hermie Sadler's off the pace here, it looks like, just a little bit.
He's coming back from a spin. May pit this time just ahead of Elton Sawyer. Oh, Butch Leitzinger gets in the tire wall with his Thunderbird. Now, he had moved up into the top 10 and then dropped back to 12th before this excursion. Well, he's got it fired up. Trying to find a forward gear there.
We have had a lot of rain here. I imagine he's having a little traction problem getting that car to move right now. Once you get into there, that's one problem. Then getting out's a double problem because it is really wet down in that area.
I believe that's right in front of our TV compound.
See what I'm saying? That's what a lot of horsepower when you can't direct it does for you.
He was in 9th place.
Just a little change for anything, really.
Slick tires and slick grass, you know.
That's a lifetime to that guy.
Get the tire chains. Yeah, there he is. Now let's show you what happened. Well, he's a passenger right now, isn't he?
Boy, he's a lucky man to get that car turned on that wet grass where it hits with the back of the car instead of slamming in their head first. The yellow is out.
And the caution will be for Butch Leitzinger. Randy Porter back on the track. He's in the pits right now. There's a caution flag, and Terry Labonte is on pit road. The race leader is in. Here's a look at Terry. The MW Windows Chevy. Left side tires and a bit of a chassis adjustment there at the right rear. Of course, most of the corners here are to the right, with one exception, so left side tires are more critical.
Mike, you noticed there was no chassis change on this car. He's very happy with it, just like it is. He did have a little trouble with the right rear tire there getting it off. The jack wasn't up high enough, and they really had to struggle to get that thing back on there like it had to be.
And Terry's away as the rest of the field comes around to take the caution flag after a 36-second pit stop. Sterling Marlin is also in. Let's have a look at Hermie Sadler's spin. Terry Labonte has led all but one of his Busch Series starts on a road race course. And you watch Mike Wallace and Hermie Sadler there. Here's what happened to Hermie.
Oh, he's sideways right there. He just lost traction getting in the corner. Now he's going across the racetrack. You see Mike Wallace coming up on him there. Look at Mike making an evasive move to the inside of the racetrack there. If you're going to spin, that's the best way to do it, folks. Don't hit anything, keep going.
That's at the exit of turn 5. So we are under caution for the second time today. This one for Butch Leitzinger, whose car spun and stopped in the grass at turn 10. We'll be right back to Watkins Glen after this.
Here's another split-fire breakthrough. Twin-core wire sets with a dual firing path to every plug.
Now, without touching a tool, if you've got 23 minutes and this box, you've got all you need to give your car 15 times the ignition power of original equipment wires. Supercharged ignition means more power at any RPM and more miles per gallon. Here's power that pays you.
More power and more mileage for your money back.
Not that old lawn equipment again.
Last year he nearly jerked me up by the roots.
Wait a minute. All new home light equipment.
I told you he knows a great value when he sees one.
Look, it's a home light blower and a string trimmer.
Yes.
A home light hedge trimmer and chainsaw and a new home light mulching mower.
I love it when he gets environmental.
Just a little off the top, please. Do it right. Do it home light.
See the new Home Light Smooth Operator System today for guaranteed easy starts.
Wherever you are this summer could be a very cool place with Miller's 10 grand a day giveaway. We've got a lot to unload. That's $10,000 a day every day. Look for numbers inside specially marked cases of Miller beer. Match and win daily in USA Today and Sports Illustrated. A lot of cash, a lot of winners. Can your beer do this?
Oh. Now back pain doesn't have to ruin another night's sleep. Try Doan's PM. Doan starts with a unique pain reliever these brands don't have, then adds a second ingredient to help you sleep. Doan's PM for nighttime back pain.
Athlete's foot is a predator. To cure it all, you've got to kill it all. Introducing Lotramin AF spray and powder. Full prescription strength medicine that kills all causes of athlete's foot. New forms, same killer results. Lotramin AF, the killer cure.
Everybody making pit stops here under the caution. Ricky Craven closest to us. Things get kind of close. Scott Lagasse pulling out in the Bobby Dotter car. Rodney Combs coming past. Kenny Wallace, Joe Nemechek, the blue car. Now, Butch Leitzinger did get to the pits, and Sterling Marlin has gone to the garage. Engine failure has put him behind the wall for the day. There's Johnny Rumley in the Winehouse Applejuice Ford, and Ken Wallace, the TGI Fridays Chevy. And Brett Bodine and Shauna Robinson. Chad Little's car being worked on as you ride with Randy LaJoy. Tracy Leslie led a lap, the first one he's led since Dover in 1993 in Busch competition. As a result of pit stops under the caution. So caution out here as they've finished up cleanup. And another lap or two, we should be getting back to green here. Watch for the Pure Laters Drive with the winner's game. Match the drive with the car. You could win a 94 Corvette, and we'll be right back to Watkins Glen.
Tonight, he had a long climb to the top.
And if I hadn't made it, I surely would have been a bitter old man.
It's true. It's hard true. Doug Stone, the Country Music Video Album Hour. TNN tonight.
Sunday night, June 26th, DeSoto Speedway. It's the Granger Select Race of Champions. The NASCAR stars Bill Elliott, Wally Dallenbeck Jr., Chuck Vaughn, and John Andretti battle it out on the South's fastest short track. Plus, a special appearance by the King of Racing, Richard Petty, as the Grand Marshal. Get close and get their autographs. The Granger Select Race of Champions. Sunday, June 26th at DeSoto Speedway in Bradenton, Florida. Don't miss it.
I did a lot of comparing before buying my new car.
Bet you compared options and MSRPs.
I sure did. That's when Cutlass Sierra clearly pulled ahead of the competition.
5105 less than Taurus, 5172 less than Accord, and 5535 less than Intrepid.
Same options, thousands less. 14,195. And the sales rep was great. No pressure, no shell game, just great value. After all, he said,
it's your money. 14,195 is a Bradenton, Sarasota, Venice Olds retailer.
A couple little kids with funny ears. Enjoying the race here at Watkins Glen and listening in. Camping and picnicking is kind of familiar around this circuit. There aren't that many grandstands. Most of the folks bring their cars and campers and trucks and sit out and get a good view all around what is an 11-turn road race course. And a lot of TNN fans as well. The GT cars will use the entire 11-turn course when they run the 11th annual Continental here at Watkins Glen tomorrow.
Hello, how you doing?
Gorp and TNN are out of this world. I hope that's a Oh, there's Gorp.
Hey, Gorp. That's how I felt day before yesterday, as a matter of fact.
Scott Lagasse has been moving up pretty well driving for Bobby Donner. And there he is. He climbed a bunch of positions. We're looking at 19th on the most recent rundown that we have. We're told they will get a green this time by. It's tougher to take care of your car on a road course, you know, to conserve the car than it is on a speedway or on a short track.
You know, for us guys that's not used to shifting, it's awful hard to take care of that transmission. You know, that's probably what happened to Randy's third gear because of downshifting. We're used to upshifting on restarts, but not downshifting.
Let me upgrade what we're talking about here. Glen,
okay, upshift.
Glen, are you ready to tell them what's wrong with Randy LaJoie's transmission? Glen. Hello, Glen's not ready. I will tell everybody that he has lost third gear in the transmission, and we always wonder when that happens, where the little parts that come off of that gear are at now. Are they making a circulatory venture through every other gear right now? What would you say? You're not going to say either. Well, I'm just going to talk while all you guys recompose yourself up here.
I'm laughing too hard. You know those little pieces have to go somewhere.
See, they do this to me every once in a while, folks, just to see if I'm awake. I did a play-by-play for about 30 seconds a while ago while nobody was listening.
Well, we were in commercial. All right, green flag is in the hands of the starter. Here they come. We'll get back to racing.
Nice to have you back.
Yeah.
That's all right. That's all right.
Terry Labonte moves up on Steve Grissom in the channel lock car. As they roll down toward turn one, we are back under green.
A little 4 wide getting into one there. They have to get at least two wide before they even try to make that. Randy?
Oh, no, they don't. Look, they're all off on the grass.
Well, okay, back to the dirt racer.
You're riding with Randy LaJoie. Kind of looking out the side window cam, it is now, of Randy's car. Swung around for a look back at the field as they climb the hill into the S's.
You know, we just talked about Randy getting off the racetrack. When you don't have third gear on the road course, you have to use a lot of brake to get the car slowed down enough to get in the second gear, so he's at a disadvantage right now.
Steve Grissom, who is a lap down, and Bobby Labonte there in the Dentine, number 33. And there's Robert Presley running with Mike Wallace. Still got all the fenders on it, and he's still on the pavement.
And Tim Fedewa is running very well today also. You see all these guys coming up through there. You know, they're learning with every turn of the wheel here, and every race you run on a road course, no matter how well or how bad you run, you learn something that you can apply to the next time you get here.
Kenny Wallace makes the pass on Tracy Leslie in the Detroit Gasket Chevy, and Kenny moves up to second. He was feeling real racy this morning. Boy, that car, Terry Labonte, is his class of the field.
Yeah, we have a replay of what happened to Randy LaJoie just a second ago. That's what I was told. Anyhow, here he comes.
See what used to be the edge of the track out there? Everybody's out there.
Yeah, right off the cow path, as you call it, and right out in the dirt, but no harm.
Oops. Johnny Rumley. And he is just outside the outer side of the inner loop.
See all the drivers waving there so that when they start putting on the brakes, they don't run into the back of each other.
Elton Sawyer going to the garage in the Ford Red Carpet Lease Thunderbird. And the starter is reaching for flag yellow once again.
Flag yellow will fly shortly.
Johnny Rumley off the course at the entrance to the inner loop. And unless they're able to pull him out of the way, we're told to Randy LaJoie now has, well, we found where the little pieces of third gear went. They went to second gear.
Yeah, he now only has 2 gears left, so I'd say before very long he'll be high gear only.
Caution flag yet again. Third one of the day for Johnny Rumley. And there's the juice car parked right at the... They have flagmen at every... You're not looking at start-finish, folks. They have flagmen, and most of them are volunteer course workers, members of the Sports Car Club of America, and they work these flag stations all the way around the road course here, which is really essential. You just can't rely on waiting until you get back to the start-finish line to see those flags.
Well, I was just fixing to say, Mike, people do a great job, and I tell you, they make road racing so much safer because they watch what's going on all the time.
Let me add, buddy, they are all volunteers, and you could become one of them. Just contact your local chapter of the local region of the Sports Car Club of America for information on how to get involved. Let's bring you the Stanley Mid-Race Report, brought to you by Stanley Works of New Britain, Connecticut. 4 leaders, 5 lead changes, average speed 91.5 miles per hour. 3 cautions for only 5 laps, and 4 cars scored as out of the race. Pace car has them in tow, and I don't see, yes, I do see Johnny or Rumley's car there to the right, awaiting the wrecker. So Terry Labonte's your leader. Kenny Wallace rides in second. Tracy Leslie is third. Bobby Labonte, who started scratch, is up to 4th place in the Dentine car, number 33. Those Labontes are road racers, aren't they? 5th is Mike Wallace. 6th, Robert Presley. 7th, Hermie Sadler. 8th is Tim Fedewa. 9th is Jim Bound. And 10th, the Bobby Daughter and Scott Lagacy car. We'll be right back.
In Normal, Illinois, Gene Goebel is popular with folks who need their car fixed. He does good work, and he doesn't charge an arm and a leg. Because when he needs auto parts, Gene buys a lot of them at AutoZone. You see, the prices are low every day at AutoZone. So a lot of good mechanics like Gene just pass the savings on to their customers. Plus, they can still get the best quality parts. Sure, they know how to do the work right, but they also know how to save money doing it at AutoZone.
Performance. Every element on the track is matched by one off the track. Off the track and into the high-performance heat pump systems of Luxair. Speed is matched by high efficiency, protection by strong warranty, handling by quiet operation, and power by year-round Luxair comfort. Winners in performance, number 1 in comfort, Luxair. A reason for loving every season.
You could win $1 million by entering Pocono Raceway's UAW GM Teamwork Sweepstakes. 3 finalists win fantasy trips to Pocono's Miller Genuine Draft 500, $5,000 in cash or prizes, and a chance at $1 million. Apply for a NASCAR MasterCard by calling 1-800-937-POCONO and automatically entering the sweepstakes. Or to just enter the sweepstakes, send your name, address, and phone number to this address. For a free Pocono Raceway brochure, call 1-800-RACEWAY.
A safari rarely lasts longer than a few weeks, unless it's a safari maintained with genuine AC oil filters, because over hill, dale, and wadi, no other filter can track down, trap, and capture more dirt. So, AC oil filters keep your engine on the hunt for a longer life.
Call 1-800-AC-DELCO. It's like buying time. Save up to $11.60 on AC plugs and filters, and enter AC Delco's Brickyard 400 sweepstakes.
Today's exclusive coverage of the Fays 150 on TNN is brought to you by AC Delco. It's like buying time.
Well, we're under caution here at Watkins, Glen. Tell your Pink Flamingo story after we tell you that NHRA Today you'll be seeing later on. And then tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. and 6 p.m., final round coverage. Live drag racing on TNN, and of course, 5:30 p.m. today, NHRA Today brings you up to date on everything in the world of drag racing. All right, now there's Terry Labonte, who's leading this race. You're talking about Pink Flamingos a second ago.
Yeah, I was talking about Kenny Schrader. He moved into a very influential neighborhood, and as he was away to a race one time, the neighbors got together and put about 50 of those in the front yard of his house. He come in.
There went the neighborhood.
There you go.
Yep. Today's top periodic telecast of the Fays 150 is authorized under broadcast rights grants. Watkins Glen International lets us televise this, folks. Don't tape it, reuse the pictures and accounts and description of this event without express written permission. We're having some fun now.
You're having buddy lip today.
All right, Labonte's leading this thing. Kenny Wallace is in second. Tracy Leslie's third. Bobby Labonte is fourth. As the safety car leads him around, we're going to go green this time. What are they going to have to do to catch Terry Labonte?
Well, I don't know, but you know, they have 3 cars here out of Labonte stable right now, and they're running first, fourth, and 11th. That's pretty good.
Pretty good. 25 cars are on the lead lap. Steve Grissom's 1 lap down. as we get set here to go back to green. Out of turn 11. And green flag at lap 35. And here comes Kenny Wallace, peeking to the inside, and he lines up single file. That's Bobby Labonte on the left. Couldn't get Tracy Leslie there.
No, Tracy's running extremely well today. It'll take some real maneuver, like going into the chicane, maybe on the back straightaway or something, to make a move on him, because that car is like a rocket ship down the straightaway.
And keep in mind what Bobby Dotter said about Scott Lagasse, his relief driver, trying to move up through the field. Here's Hermie Sadler, number 25, trying to put the move on Robert Presley, and the new Lysol colors for Jim Bound right behind in the 63. Ooh, heavy braking area here. Ooh, well, they are going to go in there two abreast.
That car, Robert Presley's got all sideways getting in that corner. He just has the ball, though. You talk about a kid in a candy shop, that's him on a road course. He just has the biggest time. He don't take himself that serious and just drives the wheels off the car, but he's out of control about 80% of the time.
But he's having fun. Looks like fun, anyway.
He's running well. If he can keep up with Sadler like that, he has to be a pretty strong race car. Hermie Sadler has a great race car for this particular track. See Jim Bound just behind him there coming in the corner. That's turn 11. See, I'm learning.
Down the front straightaway again, one of the prime passing areas on this course. That's Joe Nemechek, the car out of line, the blue car. And here comes Lagasse. Scott Lagasse to the inside. And takes 10 feet away.
Boy, he's giving that car a great ride, kind of like you did in Myrtle Beach. That car likes an extra driver in it.
It must, but, you know, it's an awful good car. Bobby Dotter and my ex-crew chief, Brian Schaefer's working on it now. So, I mean, they take real good care of the car, and it's a top-notch team.
Lagasse ran the Corvette Challenge Series, did real well there, so he's got, I guess, what we'd call heavy car experience on a road course. Rodney Combs and Tim Feedle battle there. Just behind Lagasse in the 08, the DeWalt car.
Rodney Combs' car has been real strong down the straightaways today, and you notice around this long looping corner here, he can stay right on the bottom, so the car is handling quite well.
Well, he's another former dirt tracker making good on the road course here. Looking over Fedewa, now he goes to the other side.
If you first don't succeed, outbreak him.
Boy, it's interesting when you watch the difference as they get into that turn 10. The pure road race cars, the much lighter cars, they go in about another 2 car lengths before they turn in there. A real early turn in with these big heavy cars to get them to respond. This group is 8.5 seconds behind the race leader, Terry Labonte.
See David Green coming up under Fedewa there. Boy, that was a good decision to check up there just a little bit. I thought he was going to run right to the quarter.
Tim's out in the cow pies and then back on again. Doesn't seem to slow him up, but David Green got by him.
Well, that's what patience on a road course does. He seen him trying to make a move on the inside, got his concentration off just a little bit, and Fedewa got out on the outside there.
5 lead changes so far in this race. That's a record for the Fays 150.
See Ricky Craven coming up. He was just about one of the last cars in the circuit there. When they restarted, he's making his way towards the front again. The car is really strong.
Craven's DuPont Chevy now looking over Tim Fedewa in the Luxair Ford. He'll be at about 9th, make that 10th place. Craven was 16th on the restart, so he has come up through. Trouble for Joe Nemechek, the former Busch Series champion. They're under the hood. Nemechek's worth finish in this race is 4th. Not today. He's got a 2nd and 2 4ths coming in here.
I think Kenny Wallace is able to stay a little bit closer to Terry Labonte, but Terry just seems to inch out about a half a car length every lap. And it's just, you know, the harder you try to catch up, when you get impatient trying to catch a car that's moving away like that, a lot of times you give up even more yet because you're watching a guy that makes it look so easy, and you're driving your heart out and you're all over the racetrack and he just inches away.
Tom, can you hustle a car around this racetrack, or do you really need to try to be smooth with these big cars?
Well, you know, you kind of need to be smooth, but sometimes you have to hustle them. If the car's not handling real well, you know, you can either just lay back or you can hustle a little bit. But Terry Labonte not hustling his car, and he'll get better as the tires wear down. The last time he got better the longer he ran on the tires.
Good point. Butch Leitzinger coming back up through, moves past Jason Keller. And they're back into the inner loop once again. Leitzinger completes the pass at number 91. Terry Labonte leads here at Watkins, Glen, New York. Kenny Wallace trying to close in as you see them there, and we'll be right back to the Finger Lakes region of New York State.
Most trackers can follow the trail only as long as the weather holds out. Unless it's a tracker spurred on with genuine AC spark plugs. AC plugs fire faster than lightning for performance so smooth, even the thunder claps. And that'll keep your engine on the trail to a longer life.
Call 1-800-AC-DELCO. It's like buying time. Save up to $11.60 on AC plugs and filters. And enter AC Delco's Brickyard 400 sweepstakes.
The King of Burgers celebrates The Lion King, now in theaters, with Lion King-size values, like our $1.99 hamburger kids meal, with a Lion King toy featuring Disney's newest stars, and our Whopper value meal for just $2.99. Bring your family to Burger King, where value is king every day.
Lots of gasolines talk performance, but no gasoline delivers it to more drivers than Shell. Shell, the world's best-selling gasoline.
Not that old lawn equipment again.
Last year he nearly jerked me up by the roots.
Wait a minute. All new home light equipment.
I told you he knows a great value when he sees one.
Look, it's a home light blower and a string trimmer.
Yes.
A home light hedge trimmer and chainsaw and a new home light mulching mower.
I love it when he gets environmental.
Just a little off the top, please. Do it right. Do it home light.
See the new home light smooth operator system today for guaranteed easy starts.
Transportation provided by Cedar Ridge RV Center, Branchville, New Jersey. Call 1-800-988-4884 and find out why Cedar Ridge is the choice of champions.
Again, a car has come to a stop at the exit of the inner loop. This time it's Jim Bound in the Lysol Chevy. He was running right at the top 5. When the car appeared, Buddy, I think you said it looks like he lost the gear trying to get slowed down for the chicane.
Well, whatever it is, they're going to have to put full course caution out because he's at a very high-speed part of the racetrack at the end of the back straightaway there, and if anybody had to go straight there, he's in the line that you would take to get through there.
So we'll see. Also at turn 10, Kelly Moore had this excursion while trying to get around Chad Little and Brett Bodine.
Whoa.
Ooh, Chad makes a nice move to get clear of that, and then here comes Kelly.
Yeah, he's along for the ride right now. Once you get out in the grass here, we've had a tremendous amount of rain this week. You'll watch the back of the car here. When he starts to come out, it'll sail right on out on him.
There's more at the same spot, back to live action. He kept it going, got back out on the course.
It had a little ding on the quarter panel, as you noticed when he come through there, and might have had a little light contact getting in that corner and helped him get out in the loose stuff there.
Kenny Wallace running in second, Tracy Leslie in third. As we pass 40 laps, and it looks like they may just leave Jim Bound's car there. If he has exited the car. Now he's in a different spot than where Johnny Rumley was, because he is actually, it's hard to tell from that camera angle, he's actually past the chicane area. Johnny Rumley was at the entrance to it. It looks like Bound's car stopped just past it, so that may be a safer position in which to let that car set.
If that was me, though, I'd get out and push it on down the way just a little ways. It looks real close to where you turn in there. Oh, I guess you're right. There is quite a bit of distance there. He's not a happy guy, though. No, he's telling those people, could you help me just a little bit here? Oh, yeah?
I think he wanted to push back to the pits, wasn't going to get one, so he's climbed out and goes over to the race officials on the other side of that 4-strand Armco. Terry Labonte, shift and steer, shift and steer.
Boy, he's doing a great job. That's just textbook road racing that he's doing right now, being very smooth and shifting the gears very easily. You see Kenny Wallace in the background there. I think the one we need to really give a call to is Tracy Leslie.
Yes.
He has to be the most improved road racer here this year.
Yeah, you know, he's definitely made a lot of headway. Last year up here, I think he ran 7th, and it's a lot better than that this year.
Dale Shaw has taken a spin down at turn 1. Gathers it back up.
Kevin LePage gets by with no incidents there. Back up to speed. That's Shaw.
Looking at the top of the S's here. And Dale Shaw back underway. He was the Busch North point leader coming into today's event. In the Skoll Pontiac of Quinn Boisvert. And just got pinched off going in the corner there.
Oh, he did something there that very few people know to do, getting in that corner. He was cut off. Had he went on down in that corner, they'd make contact and both cars would have wrecked. So he took the evasive action, spun his car. He's back underway with no sheet metal damage or anything else. So very smart heads-up move.
So Shaw continues. He was not posted on the lead lap at the time of that spin down at turn 1. Here's Labonte, Kenny Wallace, Tracy Leslie.
Like Kenny Wallace and Tracy Leslie are moving in just a little bit on Terry Labonte right now. We can't get real excited about that because he might just be cooling it, just running fast enough to stay in front. But it looked like he had gained a little bit of territory on him.
And Stevie Reeves.
Oh, Stevie. If you're going to hit it, that's as easy as you can hit it right there.
Now let's see if he can get it going once again. As you've mentioned, the grass there is quite damp, and another car has spun. Randy Porter has spun at the exit of turn 10 once again. And I guess the map on the dash wasn't much help in that situation.
Yeah, he better stay there and read that map just for a second. You see his car's coming around this corner. If he tries to pull out, he will cause a little problem.
See the caution flags waving? That caution, that is just for turn 10 to warn the drivers of an incident there. And Tom, you were saying that was a tough thing to get used to.
You know, that's something we're not used to. We're used to seeing a yellow flag and thinking that that's the full course. But up here, if they wave it, it's not full course, and if they hold it solid, then it's a full course yellow.
Let me correct it. It's turn 1, not turn 10.
Great camera work. I tell you what, that's a beautiful shot there. It was nice to see Stevie Reeves not injure his car any more than that.
There's the flag waving at the entrance of the corner. Porter and Patty Moise going by. And let's show you what happened to Randy Porter back at turn 10.
Serious trouble there. He oversteers a little bit.
Right in front of Labonte.
See, winning a race isn't always easy either. And you say he's out there just cooling it, but things like that can change the whole race around.
So Labonte is the leader. Kenny Wallace and Tracy Leslie in hot pursuit, and now the full caution is coming out for Stevie Reeves. We'll be right back.
Come on along and head for the mountains of Busch Beer. Head for the mountains, it's cold and it's smooth and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Busch Beer.
You got the winning color. Make your engine last longer. Change your oil every 3,000 miles and use the newest Pennzoil.
Pennzoil has always stood by me.
Now with the revolutionary Pennstar molecule, Pennzoil clings to moving parts. Works like liquid ball bearings. And play Pennzoil's new scratch and win game. Over 4,000 prizes, including 10 trips for 2 to NASCAR's Brickyard 400 race in 1994 or 95. Pennzoil, the official motor oil for the inaugural running of the Brickyard 400.
I don't believe that would ever happen.
Yeah, that would never happen.
From Little Caesars, 2 pizzas for $8.98, plus a free 8-piece order of crazy bread and a free 32-ounce Coke Classic. It's enough food to make a family meal into a party.
You still washing the car with dish soap? Hey, try Spot and Wash. It takes off bugs and tar, and it even washes the whole car. Yeah, I wouldn't mind riding in that. New Spot and Wash from Armor All.
Upper back pain, lower back pain,
neck pain. There are all kinds of back pain. Extra Strength Dones relieves them all with an ingredient these brands don't have. Relieve back pain with Dones, the back specialist.
Napa, we're the most complete source for auto parts, and all Napa parts are backed by a nationwide warranty program. No wonder more Americans trust Napa to keep their vehicles running.
Today's exclusive coverage of the Fays 150 on TNN is brought to you by Napa. We keep America running.
Just past the 40-lap mark here at Watkins, Glen, New York. 62 make up the race today. Tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern, Inside Winston Cup Racing, hosted by Ned Jarrett right here on the Nashville Network. Keep up on everything that's going on as the Cuppers have a week off before they head for Daytona Beach for the 4th of July weekend event. We're under caution. They'll pull Stevie Reeves' car and get set to go back to green perhaps this next time by. Tom Peck, I know you want to get down and see what position you finish. Brett brings that thing home today, but want to thank you for joining us, and hope we see you again soon.
Well, you know, I appreciate it. This is a different perspective than what I'm used to seeing. It's a lot different, and it's kind of a tough job up here.
Well, I think we'd all rather be racing.
I know I would.
Yeah, me too. But
Tom, I'm going to keep my fingers crossed. You belong back behind the steering wheel. We want to make sure you get in a good race car. I'll be pulling for you the rest of the year, man.
Well, I'm sure something's going to come up. You know, you just got to be patient. You have to tell yourself that, and sometimes that's hard. But, you know, I'm looking for the positive things to happen.
Okay, Tom, thanks for joining us. Here's Jim Bound hopping back aboard to get a shove back to the pits as they pull Stevie Reeves' car from turn 1. That's the reason for the caution. Here's another look at Pure Later's drive with a winner's game, and you could win that 94th Corvette. We'll be right back to Watkins Glen.
Where there's smoke, there's fire.
We've got problems in turn 3.
ASA Racing. Speed is our middle name. The Pontiac Excitement 300, live from Brainerd. TNN Motorsports Sunday.
Sunday night, June 26th, DeSoto Speedway. It's the Granger Select Race of Champions. The NASCAR stars Bill Elliott, Wally Dallenbeck Jr., Chuck Vaughn, and John Andretti battle it out on the South's fastest short track. Plus, a special appearance by the King of Racing, Richard Petty, as the Grand Marshal. Get close and get their autographs. The Granger Select Race of Champions. Sunday, June 26th at DeSoto Speedway in Bradenton, Florida. Don't miss it.
We could tell you that we've been in business for over 60 years, but is that what you really want to hear?
I don't think so. You want to know that you get the best deal possible. Cox sells more cars and trucks than almost anyone in the Southeast. Why? Because we work with the customer. If you're about to make an investment, you want to know you're getting a great deal. At Cox, we'll work with you, making sure you're satisfied. Now that's what you want to hear, because that's what it takes to sell cars. And that's what we do, better than anyone else. Cox Chevy and Cox Geo. Come experience the Cox advantage.
Welcome back to Watkins Glen, New York. Look, even one of our crewmen is lost. Can't find his camera position. So it's been a tough day out here in the hinterlands for some of the folks. They've got Stevie Reeves and Jim Bound's car pushed back, and we're looking to go back to green this time. Terry Labonte is the leader. Kenny Wallace is in second. Tracy Leslie third. Bobby Labonte fourth. Mike Wallace fifth. Here's Glenn.
Well, Mike, under that caution period, kind of unusual. We didn't see anybody hit pit road. Reason being, all the lead cars crew chiefs have told me that they can go the distance. They've already used up their allotted amount of tires that they can change under caution. So they're just out there riding around, waiting for this thing to get over with. Keep an eye on Terry Labonte. He's awfully strong, but Scott Lagacy has really moved up.
Here your front six all into turn number 1 in one pile. Bobby Labonte tried the inside move, as did Kenny Wallace on the restart.
Boy, Tracy Leslie just drove in there on the outside trying to take second position away. He has a preferred line up through here. If he can make it through this corner and keep that inside lane, wow, Kenny drove right by him on the outside there.
Tough spot right there to come up that hill 2 abreast through the S's. Look at Terry Labonte run away from this pack that are battling hard for second place.
You know, it must be in families, because Richard Petty was a great road racer, and so is Kyle. And you see all the Wallaces, every one of them are good road racers. I think it's in families, I really do.
Well, you got a couple of bodies up there and a couple of Wallaces. Running well. Now, Robert Presley was part of this pack. He's dropped 2 cars behind Legacy. And Hermie Sadler there, but still running in the 8th spot. Second on back. Robert Presley and this man, Tracy Leslie, went to road racing school recently and had an interesting outcome. Robert Presley tells us about it.
Well, I went to the Road Atlanta school, and me and Tracy Leslie was down there. And there was 8 people in our class. And I'd done better than anybody. I had the best time. Tracy had the worst time. So we come up here the next week, and I have the worst time here, and Tracy has one of the best times. So, you know, what they teach you, it don't help.
Well, not always. Mike Wallace is off the course, and somebody there, I think it was Kelly Moore, got dented in as a result. Now, Wallace was in the top 5. No more.
Mike Wallace has got something rubbing there. He made contact with something, because the right side of the car is smoking real heavily there.
Tough break for Mike Wallace. Had a 10th here in '93 and was in the top 10.
Let me straighten that up. I don't see anything rubbing. That might have just been the brake real hot, where he got in there hard on the brakes and spun off the road course. And you see now it's quit smoking, so that's a good sign for Mike Wallace.
But look at all the ground he's lost. He's at the tail end of the pack there. Here it is again. Well, he's lucky he didn't take anybody else with him. Don't know if he and Rodney Combs might have got together there. He was also battling with Scott Lagasse there for that 5th spot. So Wallace is now all by himself. Ricky Craven's moved up a couple. David Green as well. Here's Labonte out of turn 1. There's Kenny Wallace, Tracy Leslie. Top of your screen, Scott Lagasse's up to 4th place.
Man, what a ride he's given this car. I bet Bobby Daughter's saying, you think I'm not a smart guy? I know who to put in my race car. Every relief driver he's had this year has run a super race in that car.
And right with him is Bobby Labonte. Those two have come up through the field. Remember, Labonte started dead last, and Lagasse restarted last after the driver change. And the result, the caution period that came out just afterward. Mike Wallace has made it around to the pits. Not a...
I've got to tell you what he has. He's got a brake problem. He couldn't stop there. He went right through the pits.
Well, not a good birthday present for Barry Owen, the car owner. They surprised him last night.
That smoke we seen might have been brake fluid down on the calipers there, and momentarily just made a lot of smoke, but he couldn't even slow up when he come in the pits there.
Well, he'll ride this one out, though, as Terry Labonte comes past start-finish. And they separated out just a bit among the top dozen or so cars.
You know, you're talking about that outside strip. You notice a lot of the race cars use that outside strip. Terry Labonte, every lap, he never gets out there. He comes right off on the blacktop every time. He's got his car under control and back on the power really fast.
Second place is where the battle is. Third place point man Kenny Wallace in the TIC Financial Ford, number 8. And the Detroit Gasket Chevy for Tracy Leslie. Leslie 10th in the point standing. Well, that's close. Around turn 5. Long turn. Has 2 apexes if you drive it this way. Cut step back down to the inside again. And you're downhill there, and you're carrying a lot of speed out of that corner.
Yeah, and a lot of braking going into that corner. So that's what happened to Mike Wallace when you seen him just go look like he went straight off the racetrack down there.
Now look, these two are being caught by Scott Lagasse.
He's got to just say, hey, I'm loving this, you know. First time in the car, really running fast. And he may even move up in the way he's going right now. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if he don't give Terry Labonte a run for his money near the end of this race.
It's possible. Mike Wallace going to try pit road again. Yep, Lagasse's closing in.
He's left Bobby Labonte some 15, 20 car lengths in only 3 or 4 laps. You see him dragging there, that means no brakes whatsoever. The crew met him up the way and drug him right on by the pits.
That was a 10-man stop. Some of them from Mike McLaughlin's crew. Robert Presley just ahead of David Green. Butch Leitzinger is a lap down after his spin, but they've been battling hard in this pack, along with the 55 of Tim Fedewa.
David Green always runs slow. He looks like he's on a rail everywhere he goes. He's running very fast right here. The car never gets out from under him. He's a perfect person to drive for the Labontes. He has that driving style pretty much like they have.
10th place right now as they come up to turn 10. Fedewa is going to try him on the inside. There's Presley in 9th in the black car. Or rather, that's Leitzinger who makes the pass, not for position, as he is a lap down in car number 91. Back through start-finish.
Robert Presley may have broke his record, though. He told us earlier that he had never passed a car on this racetrack. I think I seen him pass one just a little while ago.
Yeah, he's done it today. He's done it today. Second, third, and fourth again, tightening up. Tracy Leslie coming up the hill and down this straightaway, 3.5 seconds behind Terry Labonte. Boy, Kenny didn't leave a lot of racetrack there.
Tracy's really getting a little impatient right now. He's trying him inside, outside. He's trying to get any kind of little angle he can get going in the corner so he can position himself to get by Kenny. I think he's a little bit quicker than Kenny is right now, but Kenny's got the track position, and he just can't make a pass on him.
Well, and it's not a two-man race anymore. Scott Lagacy's right there, so Leslie has got to get going, try to take second, or perhaps wind up in fourth. There's the distance from Terry Labonte, the MW Windows Chevy. And here's the second, third, and fourth place race. Behind them, Bobby Labonte, Hermie Sadler, Rodney Combs, and the point leader, Ricky Craven. Second, third, and fourth is where the race is. The DeWalt Tools Chevy, Bobby Dotter started it, and Scott Lagacy, relief throw. Dotter said he had 5 or 6 guys that wanted to drive that car, but when they were here last year, Scott Lagacy was in the race, and he and Dotter raced together most of the day, and he was really impressed with Scott's smoothness and the way he kept the car in one piece. So he said Scott was hands down the top choice to put in the car today.
Yeah, I saw Kenny get in turn 1 there, just a little bit hot. He smoked the front tires getting in the corner.
Ooh, Rodney Combs was in the top 10, and that's at the inside of turn 1. Whoa!
Man, he better get going real fast or he won't have a trunk lid like he has right now.
All right, Larry Pearson was the guy who got the wake-up call right there, and there's trouble. Fedewa and Jason Keller. And Tim Fedewa ends up in the fence. Not sure how that one started, but they fought for the same piece of racetrack.
Look at Jason Keller's left front fender there. It's torn away from the left front wheel and all. Left front wheel looks like it's bent back and into the cowl just a little bit.
Tim Fedewa opened up Keller's car like a can opener. Ooh,
yeah,
oh, this is a bad place.
That's not a good place to sit either. I'd be putting in something if I had to run it with a starter.
That's right at the tunnel. That's where Steve Millen had that horrendous crash last year. It's a blind entry into that corner, and you can bet the caution flags are waving hard.
They might be, but the main straightaway caution flag is not out.
That is a horrible spot. Look at how blind this is coming up over the Gene DeWitt tunnel there. As you come around that corner, the guardrail is so high to the right side of the track, even though there are flags, you can't see what's on that straightaway until you get there.
Yeah, but they trust these guys. They're very smart on these flags, and when they see them flying around like that, you start backing off.
Well, I'm sorry, buddy. That scared me. Let's show you what happened here. Now, there's Fedewa and Keller getting together at the top of the hill.
Well, Jason Keller got into the outside wall and then back into Fedewa. I don't know what caused the impact right at the very first there, but they got into the outside wall, and Keller's car jumped back into Fedewa's car.
Tim Fedewa, first time he's had the Luxair colors on his car, and was giving it quite a ride. Fedewa was in the top 10, and now he'll have to limp it back to the pits. Jason Keller is also in the pits for repairs. 53 laps complete at Watkins Glen. We'll be right back.
Had a platinum plug in there, great performance. Next weekend, I had the split fires in there. Amazing difference. I couldn't believe it.
More complete combustion.
I use lower octane now. It seems like it runs like I had the premium in there.
5 extra horsepower by merely installing these plugs.
I have them on my motorcycle, my boat, and my car.
America is talking about split fire.
I feel like I have more power. I feel like I have a new engine.
Split fire won a United States patent. It doesn't look like any other spark plug. It doesn't work like any other spark plug.
I went from probably 300 miles on a full tank to almost 400.
I love them. I was saving at least $3 to $4 a week.
Split fire. At $5.99, it only costs more till you use it. Here's another split fire breakthrough. Twin core wire sets with a dual firing path to every plug. More power and more mileage or your money back.
I was running late the other day when the car started acting up. You know, a little light came on, it says check engine. You know, the one that always means a trip to the dealer, right? Well, I go to AutoZone. I tell the guy about it. He says, let's take a look. So we go outside, pop the hood, and he starts running some tests right there. Turns out it was just something little, but he saved me a lot. You know, if they can test this stuff for free at AutoZone, why would you go anyplace else?
One of these hammers is jacketed in high-impact polycarbonate. The other one is broken. The fiberglass jacketed hammer from Stanley.
Oh. Now back pain doesn't have to ruin another night's sleep. Try Doan's PM. Doan starts with a unique pain reliever these brands don't have, then adds a second ingredient to help you sleep. Doan's PM for nighttime back pain.
Terry Labonte owns a 4.3-second lead as they come to the end of the back straightaway. At lap 55 here at Watkins Glen, Kelly Moore separates him from the second-place machine. And one car has lost an engine there. Stevie Reeves is very slow, waving everybody by. And Reeves will take the exit route, and so will Bobby Labonte. We're told the engine is let go. On Labonte, he was the 5th-place car. And they both go to the car park past the inner loop chicane.
Yeah, you can tell Bobby's motor's gone. I'm not sure about Stevie Reeves. He looked like he was on some kind of power trying to get back to the pits here. But
you're right.
You see Bobby trying to get out of the car right now.
Labonte down the hill into turn 1. Terry Labonte, the race leader, and he's now opened it up to 4.9 seconds on what has been a good second-place battle.
Boy, this is a tremendous battle from 2nd to 3rd to 4th, though. These guys have been dicing it out for the last 10 laps, and I wouldn't throw my hat up for the difference in the way the cars are performing. Tracy Leslie's trying to get under him there.
He's got him. Oh, tough place to pass down at the bottom of turn 2. What's wrong with Kenny's car?
Kenny Wallace is definitely off the pace right now as he heads towards the back straightaway.
Both Leslie and Lagasse just... I was about to say, if a car's under full power, you're not going to get him right there, and obviously he's not.
Kenny Wallace has probably been the most dominant car on the whole circuit the year around, but he's had so much trouble right near the end of the race with mechanical problems. It's a shame to see this happen to him.
His older brother Mike goes past, and there's Kenny taking the shortcut around.
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty much over. When they pull out in that outside park there, it's pretty well done.
Now there's David Green battling Robert Presley.
Ooh, he's back out there where the race cars are coming off the chicane there.
Trying to limp it around. 5 laps to go for Terry Labonte. And he expands his lead over Tracy Leslie and Scott Lagasse. Moving up on Randy Porter. Let's show you again. See if you can pick anything out here on... ooh.
Yeah, you can see it. Well, it blew up right there, folks. I was going to use a good word, but other than that, it blew up right there. You could see it come out of both pipes.
Tracy
What happens
Leslie
there?
saw it too, and he was gone.
Yeah, exactly. He was real lucky he didn't get collected from the back.
A spate of engine failures this season for Kenny Wallace. Not sure if something happened in the engine or if perhaps If he might have missed a shift at that point, over-revved it, don't know what could have happened.
Well, something come out of the exhaust pipes, and normally when it does that, it either floats the valves or it either just, you know, throws parts all out through the back part there. He's not under power right now. I imagine this will bring out a caution. I'm imagining.
Going to be 4 laps to go. Wallace tries to get his car as far off the race surface as possible. Now, if this was your average IMSA or SCCA race here, they'd just leave the car there and keep running. And they may well do that.
You know, instead of a place on the racetrack where you're in a straight line, it's really not a danger there. So they may leave that car where it's at. He's definitely out of the race either way, so they probably leave the green out.
Here's the race. It is for second place. And well, here's Mike Wallace trying to push Kenny home.
Man without a motor and a man without any brakes. This ought to be interesting.
Now, you're not allowed to receive any assistance on the final lap, but I guess this is okay.
Man, that's pretty neat there. I never had a brother that, you know, my brother, when he raced, he was always in a different division than me, and that's pretty neat right there. Mike's out of the race. Kenny was running right up front, and he gave him a little shove there to get him going towards the pits.
Meanwhile, here's this battle. Dennis Setzer and Dale Shaw going at it here. Glenn, did your brother ever help you out like that, or did you ever help Dale like that?
Oh, he helped me out one time. We ran on the short track. He pushed me clean out of the way.
Out of the way?
Yeah. Not around, just out of the way.
Oh, okay.
I guess I was in his way.
Kenny Wallace is just coasting toward the start-finishing line. He's trying to get one more lap in the books there for his points.
Thought he might have come down pit road, but apparently not.
Now that's just a corner yellow you see there. The main flag stand is definitely under green still.
And Terry Labonte has 3 laps left to run here. Boy, Scott Lagacy is really, here he is, top of the screen. He's hanging it all out, trying to catch Tracy Leslie.
Tracy Leslie was hanging it all out there. He come off the corner. I mean, he's looking out the right door there when he started slipping back through there. He's driving the wheels off the car, but I guarantee you Terry Labonte's not giving up any position right now.
And what's neat about this with Tracy Leslie in the 72 car and Lagacy, I mean, Lagacy's doing everything he can to catch up as Ricky Craven has spun off. That's turn 1 again.
And also your points leader, this is very important right now, and he gets back underway and tries to have a real good finish here because he does have a very frail lead in the point standing, so he's back up to speed again.
And Brett Bodine has just taken the Fays Drugstore's car to the garage.
See Craven come in there and see the rear wheels lock up. Okay, he just kept them locked there. He knows the grass is real slick. Now the big thing is to get back on the racetrack quick.
Which he did. Terry Labonte by himself. Coming off turn 1. Or check that, coming down through start-finish into turn 1.
He's like the Maytag repairman. He's the most lonesome man in town. There's nobody been around him all day. He's
well, that's just the way he likes
along.
It.
Yep.
Two laps to go. Tracy Leslie hanging on to second. Great drive for Leslie. He's not done that much road racing. He just went to school. I guess he doesn't have any bad habits to unlearn like some of these fellas.
Well, he's letting it all hang out, and I've watched all these Busch races for the whole year, and I tell you what, you can never count anything till the last lap is done because I've seen people leading them right down a white flag lap and things happen. So I imagine Terry Labonte's just saying, it's my race if I don't give it away, so don't make a mistake.
Labonte comes past with a lap and a half to go. Second place Leslie, third place Lagacy. And there's Tracy Leslie having a great run here. And Scott Lagacy will surely get high marks for his relief work. If you look at the list of winners in the 5 previous Busch Grand National road races, they are all Winston Cup drivers. And Terry Labonte looks for his second of those today as he's taken the white flag. Would also be the first repeat win for Chevrolet. No making cars ever won twice, and Labonte's looking for his 3rd win of the season. Ricky Craven's won twice, and nobody else has more than one. What a sharp contrast to Winston Cup,
well, I
where
guarantee
4 drivers have dominated.
Oh, the Busch Grand National Series, I mean, it is so spectacular. I just get the biggest kick out of these guys because you do have different winners just about every week. Terry Labonte's the only three-time winner, and the rest of them just been just super, you know. I love the races. I really get a kick out of them.
14 different races, 12 different winners. Here's Labonte into turn 5. Look at second place there. It's Legacy. He's taking it away from Tracy Leslie.
Tracy Leslie must have got a little sideways or something because Legacy was back about 10 car lengths, and all of a sudden the 72 car seems to be dropping off the pace just a little bit of Legacy. That's what I told you. It's never over till it's over.
Scott Legacy in relief of Bobby Dotter. It won't show in the record book for Legacy. Dotter will get the credit, but it's a fine drive for the road racer from St. Augustine, Florida. Here's NASCAR's best road racer, and he proves it yet again today. Out of turn 11 to come and take the checkered flag for the 6th Busch win of his career. Terry Labonte will send the MW Windows Chevy to victory lane. Bobby Dotter will get credit for second place. Scott Legacy with a tremendous drive, and Tracy Leslie has one of his best efforts ever in finishing third. Here's the battle for is this 4th place. Hermie Sadler and David Green, the second place point man. Last corner. Green looks inside.
Whoa! I believe Hermie might have lost that position there. I'm sure he did.
He did.
David Green got by him. Woo.
Well, positions change on the last lap here at Watkins Glen, but not first place. Terry Labonte is the man who'll go to victory lane when we come back.
The King of Burgers celebrates The Lion King, now in theaters, with Lion King-size values, like our $1.99 hamburger kids meal, with a Lion King toy featuring Disney's newest stars, and our Whopper value meal for just $2.99. Bring your family to Burger King, where value is king every day.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Red ball of fire! You shake my nerves and you rattle my brain. So much love drives a man insane. You broke my will, what a thrill. Doesn't this raise a red ball of fire?
You could win a trip to the Fast Track Driving School with Bosch Platinum Plugs.
I bought my car new in 1970. I drove a hockey team a 190-mile round trip 3 times a week.
Haviland Formula 3 from Texaco.
I took good care of it. And when I reached 300,000, I thought, I've got to be a pretty good car.
No other leading motor oil offers more complete protection to help your car run better, last longer.
The secret to long life is regular maintenance for me and my car.
Haviland Formula 3. Why add just any motor oil? Add more life to your car.
Every day, we all find a way. A promise made, a promise kept, giving it our best.
Napa, we're the most complete source for auto parts, and all Napa parts are backed by a nationwide warranty program. No wonder more Americans trust Napa to keep their vehicles running.
We keep America running. We keep America running.
Terry Labonte has won it, his 3rd win of the season. That leads all Busch drivers. Here's Glen Jarrett in victory lane.
Well, Terry Labonte looks like he's been out on just a real simple Saturday afternoon drive. That car was awesome.
I tell you what, it really was. Our MW Windows Chevrolet just ran great all day. I got to thank Carl Wagner. We had a great engine in here. The thing was just really strong, ran good all week long, and he does a great job for us on the engines, and you know, just a good run for us. I tell you what, it's been a while since we won one of these Busch races, so we were getting a little anxious, I guess.
Well, there wasn't much doubt in my mind, Terry, but early on in the race, from your starting position, you had to fight a lot of traffic. Once you got up front, it was smooth sailing. Did you get bored out there?
No, I'll tell you what, you don't ever get bored on a road course, you know, and we got through the traffic a lot easier than I thought we would. I was really concerned about that. I wanted to be a little cautious and not get in trouble, and you know, the car just worked great, and we eased up through there.
Well, congratulations again to Terry Labonte. A fine run here today at Watkins Glen. We'll be back to wrap things up here from Watkins Glen Raceway in just a moment.
Racing legend Richard Petty gave us an incredible challenge to try and start his toys.
All my toys.
All at once with a single die-hard. So we hooked up all 9 engines, and the die-hard started every one.
All at the same time.
But would it still have the power to start this big toy? Here's die-hard. More power when you need it most.
The road leading to Wendy's next great chicken sandwich is a hard one. Fraught with disappointments and dead ends. But when you're Dave Thomas and you're starting with Wendy's whole breast filet, you don't give up.
I think I'm onto something.
Introducing Wendy's Mozzarella Chicken Supreme, an all-white meat filet, mozzarella, and a creamy Parmesan sauce. One bite and you'll jump up and say,
"Gee, this is pretty good."
Exactly. Come try one today.
If you're looking for a reliable place to service your car or truck, I've got great news for you.
Now with Pep Boys, get up to a $20 rebate on our premium brake service, up to $40 on our super brake service.
Come to Pep Boys and drive away happy.
The time has come for the cordless power roller from Wagner. It's so quick and easy, it can cut painting time in half. So get your hands on a real value, because the value of Wagner keeps on rolling.
There's no place on earth that I'd rather be than out in the open where it's all plain to see. If it's gonna get done, it's up to you and to me. And there's no place that I'd rather be. Come on along and head for the mountains of Bushmere. Head for the mountains, it's cold and it's smooth, and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bushmere.
Today's exclusive coverage of the Fays 150 on TNN has been brought to you by Smooth Bush Beer and Easy Drinking Bush Light. Bush, the official beer of NASCAR.
Let's have a look at the AC Delco point standings, presenting the Busch Grand National point standings. AC Delco, it's like buying time. That last lap pass by David Green enabled him to cut Ricky Craven's point lead from 63 down to 49 points. Here's a look at how they finished here today. Give you the top 15. Terry Labonte, 3rd win of the season. That leads all drivers in the Busch Series. Great run for Scott Lagasse in relief of Bobby Dotter, finishing up in 2nd. Tracy Leslie was 3rd. Shauna Robinson got her first career top 10 finish. She wound up in the 10th spot. Tomorrow on TNN, live ASA racing from Brainerd, Minnesota at 2 p.m. Eastern. And we'll talk to you next Sunday, a week from Sunday, from the Milwaukee Mile. For Buddy Baker and Glenn Jarrett, I'm Mike Joy. So long from Watkins, Glen, New York.